We have EZFluence's new 3 or 4 field all-in-one optimization window. If we have a plan with our tangents and a field with SCLAV in its ID, with or without a PAB field, then we can now use EZFluence to automatically weight our SuperClav fields for us to achieve certain goals. And in EZFluence 2.3, we can even use structures. For example, suppose we want to make sure that EZFluence covers this SuperClav node structure with at least 90% of the prescription dose. When we run EZFluence, this window will appear. This window will help automatically optimize the field weights of your SuperClav and PAB beams to achieve the goals you specify. First, you can specify the maximum allowed dose from the SuperClav and PAB fields combined. Note that this does not include scatter from tangents, so you can expect that the hotspot will be 2 to 3% hotter after the tangent dose is accounted for. If you have a structure that you want to cover, simply add a structure. We're going to add the SuperClav node structure. And suppose we want to cover it with 95% dose. I would actually put in maybe a couple percent lower, because it's likely that the scatter dose from the tangents will increase it by 2 to 3%, as I mentioned. And now press OK. As soon as it's done, we now have our plan options that you can select. And if we come up to the SuperClav field region, we can turn on the SuperClav structure, SuperClav node structure. And you can see that it is getting almost exactly 95% coverage. Of course, we accounted for that scatter, about 2% difference, so it might be a little bit off. If it is off in any way, of course, you can come in and adjust your monitor units directly and get exactly what you want. Note that this is only doing open field weights, so if you want to do anything to modulate the dose further, you'll have to do some manual adjustment, which EZFluence has great tools for. Now coming back to this window, we can also use point coverage. So you can either have EZFluence automatically select the points given a particular depth. It will use the centroid of the field to try to find a good point to pick at a certain depth. And in Eclipse 15 and above, you can actually export these points back to Eclipse if you want. Also, suppose that you ask it to do something that is not possible. If you type in, for example, a maximum dose of 100, EZFluence will indicate to you exactly what consequences this will have, what the trade-off is, that if you want to keep the dose under 100% from the SuperClav and PAB fields, that you had to accept a trade-off with your SuperClav point dose and your PAB point dose, and you can accept it or not. So this allows you to quickly explore what are the trade-offs between your coverage and your hotspot limit. One other thing to know is that you can actually create your own SuperClav points. If you have SCLAV in the name or SCV in the name, then you can put it where you want, and that point, of course, when you run EZFluence, will show up in the list. So you can use your own points if you don't want EZFluence to select them automatically. Here you can see it automatically saw SCLAV point. Same goes for the PAB. If you had put PAB in the ID of the reference point, then it would show up in this list.